Welcome back, Michael. Let's go
Thank you.
for our second part about our talk about the Camino. So, just the last questions. So, looking back on your Caminos and looking back and now, what are the most things that Camino teached you? What you learned most about the Camino, about you, about how I'll take things in life.
Yeah, it's the biggest. That's the biggest question of all, right? It's why people go on the Camino, because we obviously think we need to learn something. It's not an easy thing to do, right? You don't go on the Camino just because you have nothing else to do. You go on the Camino because you're looking for something. There's something missing in your life, or there's something that you need to say thank you for. There's something that you need, there's something that you want, there's some longing. And I think the idea for all pilgrims is that after we do a Camino, we may not have answers, but we will be closer to those answers. And so when I think of the lessons of what the Camino teaches you, again, we could talk for days and days and days about how the Camino acts sort of as a microcosm for life, right? Every day there's a lesson, hundreds of lessons. If there was one lesson that I guess is first in my mind when I think of the Camino, it's a phrase that we adopted on my first Camino in Spanish. When I walked with Lino and Inma most of the way, he spoke Italian, Spanish, and French. She spoke Spanish and Catalan. I speak Spanish and English. My Spanish is not fluent, but I speak enough. So Spanish was our common language. So the three of us, and they taught me a lot, but we spoke in Spanish. And these things kept happening every day where Inma and Lino and I would say, there's no way this could be happening. You and I keep talking about these things that can't be coincidences, right? These things happen every day on the Camino that are impossible, and yet they happen. So our phrase became, every day we would say it as these things would happen, imposible, pero posible. And on my second Camino, where on my first, remember, I was kind of the youngest of my closest Camino family. On the second, I was the oldest. My role had changed on my second Camino, and I was with my son. I introduced this phrase to my new Camino family, imposible, pero posible. That sticks with me every single day. Those words are in my head every single day of my life, whether it's me trying to achieve something, whether it's me looking at the world and thinking, how can we find justice in this world? How can we find peace in this world? Or even if it's just something small in the middle of my day that I'm wondering whether it can happen or not. Imposible, pero posible. That's the number one thing the Camino taught me.
That's amazing. That's really a good lesson. So, Michael, we are almost finishing here, but one last question. So, what can you say to someone that will start the Camino for the first time?
So the first thing to say to anyone that you love and respect and admire is do the Camino, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like you, I can't even tell you how many people I've just brought it up after getting to know them and say, you know what, I want to introduce you to something. I want you to think about this thing. Most of them have never heard about it, or if they have, it's only from the way, it's only from the film. Think about doing this. Why should I do it? It'll change you. It'll be the best thing you ever did. And I normally don't say much more than that, because it's that intrigue and that interest that gets someone to start researching and watch videos like this and eventually say, you know what, I want that for myself. Whatever this thing is that all these people have found, I'd like to find that myself. To someone who is actually going on the Camino and has already made the decision to go, I give one and only one bit of advice. I'm very particular about this. And it is this. It is your Camino. Do with it whatever you want to do with it. And I think that's a big part of being a pilgrim is not to give advice.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
To never say, make sure you do this and make sure you do this and you have to do this.
I
You don't
guess
have to do anything.
I guess the best advice is just saying, go, just go.
Go, just go. You will figure it out. I have a phrase that my children are sick of hearing it, but it's advice I've been giving them since they were very little. And it is the words, figure it out. Go and figuring it out. Because it's in figuring it out or trying to figure it out that the Camino teaches you. If you go and you have all these preconceived notions, and I have to do this and I have to do this, it's too much. Just go and figure it out. And the universe will speak to you.
That's amazing. So, Michael, we are already finishing up here. I can't put in words how thankful I am for being able to talk to you. Thank you for that amazing story. Thank you for everything. I wanted to know that you have a friend in me, and anytime soon when you can travel to Spain or Portugal, please let me know. I'll be glad to meet you and to pay some beers. Or really, thank you so much.
Obrigado, my new friend. As you know, I love Portugal, and my wife and I are very likely going to be moving to Portugal, hopefully in 2023, probably to Lisboa. So the idea that now I will be close to you and that we will be able to meet in person and likely even end up on the Camino together brings me great joy, and I'm very thankful to have had this opportunity to speak to you. And to get to know you a little bit. And I look forward to getting to know you more. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael.
All right. Have a great rest of your day.